All right, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here, of course, for Monster, episode 7. Oh boy. This show is getting crazy. So Johan has made a move on the parents of Nina/Anna.
And Mahler's there with them.
Mahler might go down.
And this sucks because it seems like they bring in these side characters that you don't like at first, but then they make you like them and you're like, they're actually like really cool and I like them.
Right, like the investigator guy didn't like him at first, started to like him a lot more.
Right. Or,
then they brought in Junkers and we didn't like him first, and then we started to like him.
And then they kill them.
Well, yeah, but so far the police investigator is alive. Mahler is still alive so far, but he's probably dead because he had the little bit of being like, I'll quit smoking, you quack, you know.
So,
at least I feel a little bit safer about our main two characters. But I feel like what we've walked into is they're going to stumble through basically a valley of just madness.
Right.
Because there's going to be so many people like these ones that have been brought into their lives that are good people, like that have their flaws and their problems, but are just going to be at the mercy of Johan.
Right. And then there will be the people like the gardening guy.
That
are just husks.
Who have been hollowed out for Johan's whims. Oh my gosh.
So,
without further ado, let's get into this episode and see what Johan has in store for us. Oh, she's already a little bit in shock. Oh, stop doing that. It's nails on the chalkboard. Sounds. Oh my gosh.
It's the same kind of thing that they do with the eyes.
Yep. No.
You call the police.
No, you go to the police station.
Right. Yeah, because there were no cell phones at this time.
Oh, they're doing this.
Really?
They're doing this.
Yeah, it's okay.
Oh, crap. No. All their throats were slit. Yep.
Oh, boy.
Oh, I have like a pain in my chest. What the heck?
And you know what? The inspector guy is probably going to be like,
my gosh.
You know, that precision was positively surgical. You probably did it.
Oh my gosh, you're right. Jeez.
Okay.
Oh, I still have that pain. Holy crap. Oh man. Jeez.
Yeah, okay. All right.
Oh my gosh, we were... Whoa.
All right.
Yeah. Jeez, this is so terrifying. Yeah.
The police.
It's the inspector.
It's the police.
It's the inspector. Oh. Holy crap.
Wow.
Yep.
All right.
Okay. Ooh. I thought that was going to go horribly wrong. Oh. What? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Huh.
What the heck?
I had a feeling.
Oh my gosh.
Crap, and those eyes, like, they've already been gotten to.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
crap. That's
Yep.
right.
Yep. Exactly.
Uh-huh.
Yep. Oh my gosh. They are cops, but they're not. They're not doing cop-related things. Oh my gosh.
They're the ones who killed him.
Yeah. Holy crap.
Crap. Oh,
We're so. I'm so stupid.
How did we not?
How did I not see this? Oh my gosh. No way.
Okay. Yeah, because Johan doesn't need to be there. He just has his minions do it.
Oh crap.
Yeah, they know them.
Dang it.
Say something.
あっという間にオンボロだよ。手荒く扱うからね。この子が気分が悪いというので、少し外の風に。
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
大丈夫ですか、ドクターテンマ。
How's he know he was a doctor? He never said that.
Yeah.
Yep.
なぜ知ってるんです。
Yeah.
私は名前は言ったが、
Mhm.
医者であることまでは言ってない。
Yeah.
なぜ知っているんです。
But
Oh crap! The programming switched. Yep. And the other cops have no idea.
Yeah, they.
Oh my gosh! They're fugitives now.
Oh.
The other cops saw it.
Yeah. But that's. Wow.
Well, there's no official police report filed.
Right.
So.
And it's not like there's cameras that can, like, no facial recognition or anything.
私とお兄ちゃんは2人でそこを歩いてた。世界に私とお兄ちゃん2人だけみたいだった。国境を越えたわ。
Yeah. Something happened on the other side.
とっても優しくしてくれた。お兄ちゃんが言ったわ。いい計画があるってあの雨の日。
Yeah.
リーベルト夫妻の事件だね。
お兄ちゃんが撃ったの。
Yep. And then you shot him. Yeah.
人たちを。
And that's why after that moment he always had other people do his dirty work.
今までの人たちもみんなお兄ちゃんが殺したのよ。
But them all has to refer to more people than just
the Lieberts.
The Lieberts, yeah.
Yeah.
だから私は銃を取ったの。笑いながら言ったのよ。
What?
撃ったら銃を窓の外へ捨てろって。ちゃんと頭を撃ってって。
What?
Wait a minute.
ちゃんと撃ったのに。
Whoa, yeah. Why did you save him? That's gonna weigh on him like a...
Oh, yeah.
Like
an anvil.
Yeah. Like a 2-ton brick.
パパとママは殺されずに済んだのよ。
Oh boy.
犯人の手がかりはないんですか。
Oh
これ
boy.
までドイツ各地で起こった中年夫婦殺人事件との
Oh
関
my
連は。
gosh.
ですから全力を挙げて捜査しておりますが、まだ詳しいことは申し上げられません。ドイツが怪しいな。
ほぼ同時刻に起きたハイデルベルク城での殺人も同一犯の仕業でしょうか。
ハイデルベルク城。
Oh.
あいつも殺されたのか。
Of course he was.
Yeah.
すみません。どうしてください。ああ、わざわざマンハイム署から応援ご苦労様。
No way. No.
メスナー刑事、ミューラー刑事。
Oh crap.
いえ、何でもおっしゃってください。協力します。捜査状況はどうですか。
Crap.
本物だった。
So he just has to go to another city
本物の警官。
and contact the police there.
どうしたらいいんだ。はい、ハイデルベルクポスト。
Yeah.
5時にそちらに行きます。警察には絶
That
対
way the story can't be silenced. Yeah.
Right.
ですか。ガスじゃないでしょうね。もしもし。警察がダメなら
の新聞社しかない。
あなたが追っている件とこっちは犯行時刻が同じだし、同一犯じゃありませんよ。
なるほど。この男、手に縛られた跡があるようだが、近くで紐か何か発見したかね。
いいえ。
I like this guy. Like the more and more he comes back, I gradually like him a little bit more and a little bit more because he seems to be thinking on another level than everyone else.
Yes.
And that's the kind of thing that actually could be a threat to Johan, you know?
Right.
人目につかないこと。
He already found something?
No way.
見つけた。
Dang!
Seriously?
Holy crap, this guy's good.
天馬だ。
Yeah, she's gone.
まさか。
Yeah.
いいな。一人にするんじゃなかった。
Should leave something?
ドクター・テンマン、あなたは悪くない。
Cool.
No way.
医者としての仕事を全うしただけです。あなたは悪くない。サンドイッチを食べてください。
Uh-oh.
そして少し眠ってください。あなたは生き延びてください。そして一人でも多くの人を助けてください。
Awesome.
But what is she doing right now?
She left. Okay, you know how I know this episode like messed me up? I had psychosomatic pain in my like chest and like shoulder back area.
That was Johan.
I don't know what the heck that was, but whatever kind of vibe this show gives, like seriously, like freaked out my physical body. Like, holy crap, this show. Like fear in and of itself is a survival instinct to keep humans from getting eaten by predators and stuff, and to keep us away from dark places where we don't have all the variables.
And that's why I hated that Nina left, because in a lot of ways it's Johan's effect.
Yep.
Still being there.
Yep.
Like at first I thought she might actually be going to
What
Johan for some reason, but
maybe I'm just gonna hear the
but
name
either
Johan
way,
from now on.
Yeah.
It's just gonna cause me pain. What the heck?
But anyways, and then
yeah. Okay, so we can recap it a little bit and let's discuss it, because
the police being like,
oh, I can't believe we didn't see that.
Yeah,
I
like,
can't believe we didn't see that, because
that
I was already thinking, wow, they're being a little bit
like understanding.
Odd. Yeah, weird.
Yeah. And the fact that, but the whole thing of no sirens, like, oh my gosh, and like they were acting
also just the fact that they didn't immediately like detain them and be like,
be like, okay, you know, it's probably
we need
not
to
you,
take
but
your
we need
statement.
But we need to take your statement. We need to, you know,
and
we like, and they did say like, we're gonna take you to the station for you know, getting your statement, but like,
but they weren't acting like police officers in the house, like at all. And I think part of it is, we don't have like tons of experience with police, but also
this
like,
is in a different country.
This is also in a different country and a long time ago, so we don't know what the process is. So we're a little bit assuming when it comes to cultural things like that.
Well, I mean, I guess it's not that long ago because it's 1995. It started in the 80s, but then they did the 9-year time skip.
Right.
But,
so yeah, but
the
still,
point is,
either way,
yeah.
Holy crap!
Like
the Fortners and Mahler are dead.
They're gone, and it sucks.
Mahler, he was going to turn his life around. He was going to get back with his wife. I mean, well, he was going to give it a shot.
He was going to give it a shot, and that's the most important thing. But now he can't do that. So
yeah. Well, I mean, just rip the amount of people that were killed in this episode.
Oh yeah.
And then we also had the gardener, the hedge cutter guy, find out he was killed as well.
And they said it was like he was tied up. I would not at all be surprised if it was something where Johan basically got him tied up so that he could like do
Jacob.
What?
He was tied up by Tenma.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Duh. I forgot about that.
He was literally tied up, you know.
Yeah.
That's why the tie was dumped over there. Because you know whose tie that is, right? It's Tenma's.
It's Tenma's,
which means
is evidence.
Johan intentionally tried to cover up the fact that that Tenma, was involved with that guy.
Oh.
Meaning that Johan is trying to protect Tenma from the
murder
case theory a little bit.
Right. Assuming that Lung isn't also all a part of his master plan.
Or okay, hold on. That's not necessarily true. What I'm saying is not necessarily true. I think you're right, but
I like your idea.
But he might also put it in a really obvious place so that it continues to point things towards Tenma, driving him further down the dark path so that he can become a monster like Johan.
Yeah.
That's another possibility.
Or at the very least, so that there's this constant deflection away from Johan. Like, this is really making me think of the Usual Suspects thing. That line where it's like...
Spoilers. Well, guys,
no.
I know this is an old movie, but watch The Usual Suspects if you haven't.
Yes. I'm not going to give any spoilers, but there's a line that a character says about this person that is really scary and stuff, and they say that the greatest lie or the greatest deception that the devil ever did was making people believe he didn't exist.
Right.
And that's what Johan feels like. Mm-hmm. Like, the idea that it's not even just that people don't think it's Johan, but people would say, who's Johan?
Right. No one cares about Johan.
Yeah.
Because Johan is the everyday German man who's just going about doing his life.
Exactly.
Has a bright future in front of him, prospects, all that. And a gorgeous sister, and they are just going to live their lives normally. It's like, oh no,
and I'm glad they brought up and made it concrete that yes, the sister was the one who shot him.
But I think we both came to that conclusion at some point,
right?
But we never really hard honed in on that theory.
But what was that of Johan saying, "Shoot me straight in the face," and then throw the gun
out
away
the window?
Like,
oh my god,
what?
So here's my thought. Johan cares about his own survival. He is not so out of left field in terms of crazy that he actually wants to kill himself. He believes in the value of his own existence somewhat.
Yeah.
Now, why he's doing all this stuff, don't know. But he did not expect to be killed by the gunshot wound. I think if anything, he might have been thinking like, this will aid me in my
in getting to a okay.
In getting to my next stage,
to a better positioning.
Right, because for one, her shooting him removes him potentially from any suspect at all. One, they're kids, but I don't think he really sees society in that way to where they'll assume, oh, they're just kids, they couldn't have done it. But this almost definitely points it towards there being some kind of a home invader who came in and did this
exactly.
And also, he's counting on the fact that because she's already pointing the gun at him,
that she's going to shoot him. So he might as well, in her fear in that moment, manipulate her so that she becomes so traumatized by the act that way that she can't
she can't be a witness against him.
Right. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
This is freaky because how old was he at the time? 12?
No, 11? I think he was 10.
10. That's disgusting. That's terrifying.
Well, and okay, here's the other thing. Like, why would he say to shoot me in the head? Because because that should have been something that killed him. And even Johan said, I should have died that day. So why did he tell her to do that?
Here's a thought. There's the aspect of, when the killer has the other person who's not a killer pointing a gun at them and it's like, you can't do it. I know you can't do it.
Oh, gotcha.
Pull the trigger. Do it.
Yeah.
That kind of thing.
Yeah, shoot me right in the head. Yeah.
Maybe he's basically saying that as a way to further traumatize her even more. And he thought, okay,
but
now
she's not actually going to do it.
She's not actually going to do it. And he starts
she
slowly walking towards her, and she does it.
Yeah.
But she's so scared that she literally does exactly what he wanted her to do.
Told her to do.
So maybe he's so freaking smart that he weighed both potential scenarios and all the variations between them, and was just like, all of these sound great, so I'm going to say this.
Even getting shot in the face?
Well, no, he was going to get shot either way.
Well, but with the logic that we were talking about with that, he didn't think she would actually have the guts to shoot him.
But I think what he did see was that there was a chance that she still would shoot him either way, but he could mitigate that a lot by
by
egging her on to
by
do it.
egging her on. Right. Exactly. Because
Oh
the
my
whole
gosh.
point of that surgery was it was something that no one else, like only Tenma should have been
Right.
able to do it, right? One of those impossible surgeries,
But he
then
couldn't
you
have
have
predi-
those
like-
that prodigy
Yeah.
surgeon.
Right. I think though that him being really smart doesn't necessarily mean he knows anything about, anatomy.
No, I know.
So he's not going to know that it's going to do that much damage in his head, or that it's necessarily going to. Because I think that Tenma, what we've learned thus far, is that he is very, his aptitudes are off the chart. His aptitude is off the chart.
Sure.
But he doesn't have necessarily, book smarts or anything. He
Sure.
might, for all we know.
yeah, but maybe
he wanted,
he just has the super steady hands. You know?
Right, but he wanted to learn about, human experience with regards to fear.
Johan.
Johan did.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I'm not talking about Tenma.
Right.
I'm talking about Johan.
Okay.
In terms of intelligence. That he wanted to learn these things, so he did. So he
Right.
sought them out.
Yeah.
But we don't know what he sought out in that time. So when he
Right.
told her to shoot him,
Well, and
he didn't know necessarily that was a
Right.
guarantee he would die.
well, and I would say that actually he probably didn't think she would shoot him, and he was writing on that. And the fact that she did shoot him, that's why he basically said, okay,
now I'm
going
going
to
to have everyone else do my stuff for me. And stuff like
well,
that.
I'm going to have everyone else do my stuff for me, and also I don't know enough about fear and how to manipulate people.
Sure.
And that's why I talked to the
I like it.
soldier
Yeah.
guy.
I think that
Yeah.
him going on a fear quest, it sounds so disgusting, to learn all that stuff makes sense if he considers that whole ordeal a failure.
Or at least a partial success, and he's not one for partial.
Well, no, it's an imperfect.
Right.
It's an imperfect ordeal, meaning that it
Yeah.
should have gone a certain way,
And
and
it
it didn't go exactly that way.
Right.
So, you
Yeah.
know, it's a failure then.
Right.
I mean, for a
Yeah.
perfectionist,
Yep. And
then
in fact,
anything that's not perfect is then failure.
right. And in fact, the way he probably thought about it was, my sister should have been so terrified of me that she would not seek the truth, and even if she found it, she would not care.
Sure, but that's
know.
probably why he's just seeking after her, is because right now she is the one person that could actually turn him in.
Right.
She still could. She has the memories.
well, the
And
thing
there's
is,
no,
okay.
there's no limit on,
Yeah.
murder
But
or something like that.
Johan, I don't think he's someone that could be imprisoned, because
we
as
know
long as
that.
he can
We know that,
speak-
but she's a variable. She
Right, yeah,
she makes
exactly.
the whole thing not
Yep.
a perfect plan. Remember
Right.
how he was talking? She said
Yeah,
that he was
he-
talking about having the perfect plan.
Exactly, right.
She makes some of his plans not perfect.
Right. So
But for some reason, he doesn't want to kill her,
right.
which I think is very interesting because it's a contradiction within his character.
Exactly. It's right now, because okay, the way they have it with the way they've set up how incredibly terrifying Johan is, that's fantastic, and that is if they wanted to just do that as a way to make Johan interesting, they absolutely could. But having that little extra bit in there, that thing that doesn't quite make sense,
Right.
that adds that extra layer of mystery to him, of him seeming to potentially maybe care about his sister in some twisted way, that makes me a lot more curious of okay, what exactly is this guy? Because now we have a hope of beating him, even if it's slim.
Right, but for now, Tenma and Anna, or Nina, just call her Anna, being separated means that that's going to be delayed a bit.
Right.
And I think it would be good to have the story kind of have them keep running into each other, and Johan
Sure.
almost keep kind of forcing that. That would be a pretty disgusting
Yeah.
thing for him to do. Is basically that
Oh,
Johan,
oh.
say Johan can't find her, she ends up legitimately disappearing.
She just disappears. Well,
And he uses Tenma as a means to find her. I
Sure.
think he probably could without Tenma, but he
Yeah.
uses Tenma as his toy to basically push him to go help look for
right.
Nina or Anna.
And
with
this is
him.
the other thing that I find interesting, is because if he can have that kind of effect on people, why doesn't he do that to Tenma? Now, I get that he feels indebted because Tenma basically gave him his life
Tenma
back.
is basically his father now.
Right.
Yeah. He's almost in a way his angel.
Right, but
If we're
Tenma
going to
will
do
also
some
be trying
religious
to kill him.
symbology here. Symbolism.
But there will come a point where the
Tenma
scene,
will try to kill him.
Tenma will try to kill him. He'll have the gun pointed at him like in the opening.
Yep.
You know. So how will Johan handle that?
Well,
not wanting to do anything to Tenma while at the same time Tenma's trying to kill him.
Well, Tenma right now is being driven along the path of being broken down.
Right.
So if you break someone down, you can mold them back up, and maybe that's what he's doing.
And maybe that's what he does to everybody.
Maybe. I mean, I think that a lot of times he just sees that people don't have the potential that, you know, Johan wants them to have, so he just ends up using them as slaves.
Sure.
And then
I can see that. Yeah.
People like Tenma, he goes, okay, this guy's actually pretty smart. At the very least, I'm indebted to him a little bit. So
right. Yeah.
That's the weird bit. Is there's a little bit of that sadistic, emotional, like
attachment,
thing.
Whatever it is. Yeah.
Yeah. You'd think if he's a true psychopath or sociopath, he would reject all connections. And stuff.
Right. And that again is something that makes
it's
it
a good
more
contradiction.
Interesting because
it's a good
contradiction. Yeah. And I love how they're able to make Johan be so terrifying when it's like we never see him.
Yeah, we didn't see him at all this episode.
Like, we didn't see him at all
we
this
saw
episode.
the flashback bit where she was remembering when she saw him, and that's it. That's it. We never saw Johan this episode. We see like the tendrils of Johan's influence stretched out and touching people.
Yeah, we see the effect of Johan, not Johan himself.
The eyes, man.
Yep,
it's always the eyes.
And yep,
holy
crap.
Like
when those guys were in the car, and it's like their eyes, the way they acted.
Yeah, they did the shot where they show behind the car like this way, and then they'd show like half the eye, and I would be like, wait,
too wide open
with the camera. I'd be like,
Yep. And like, okay, because if you think about it, it's always the monsters that you can't see that are the scariest, right? Like,
or is it the monsters that you haven't seen?
Sure, either one. But yeah,
I think it's the monsters that you haven't seen, because then
there's the element of mystery and stuff.
Yes, because it's the true unknown. Johan is something else because he's the monster that you can't separate from the crowd. It's the monster that's hidden amongst you,
and also
hidden amongst your midst.
Yes, and the idea that whatever he is so strange, like it's so unnatural that we don't understand it. So even though we have met it, even though we've seen Johan, it's still the unknown.
Okay, I think it's actually, what's the phrase when CGI is getting close to reality, but there's that bit where you still can't...
Uncanny Valley.
Yeah, when he's in the bit of the Uncanny Valley area where he is human.
Yes.
He has every appearance of being a regular, normal person, but there's that bit of Uncanny Valley where you go...
Right.
Wait, something's off. And that's what I was talking about a few episodes ago when I was saying that
the eyes,
but people aren't able to really look at him straight on.
Exactly, yeah.
Because it's like the perception filter thing in Doctor Who, where you're like, you want to look to the side of it. There's a bunch of videos about this that will kind of study this, and they'll show these things that aren't really horrifying or aren't really gross, but they're this strange mix of just weird. And they've noticed people will not be able to look at them for like longer than a few seconds. It has this kind of thing where you're like, you look at it and then you just want to look away. And it's kind of like an animalistic kind of submission thing. This is why I think that he went the fear route for mind control. Essentially, is what he has. Because people will essentially realize the dominance of the other species here and just kind of go, submission.
He'll turn himself into Cthulhu in their minds.
Yeah. I mean, not...
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah. In terms of the metaphor, guys, what he's meaning is like turning into something that...
is beyond their understanding.
Yeah.
Right.
So it exemplifies a different kind of terror. And actually, in that you don't run away screaming, you cower in fear, and you just go, I'm nothing, and you are everything. And it's a weird form of worship, actually, in a way.
And that's actually a really interesting parallel, because one of the things that Lovecraft did with Cthulhu a lot was he never really showed Cthulhu.
Right.
Like there was one point I think there's one like short story that he did like after he had introduced the whole idea of Cthulhu, where Cthulhu was actually in the story. But from what I know, it was all stuff where you'd see the effects.
You see the effects primarily, yes.
It had on people.
It drove people to madness and generally a sadistic form of worship, like some kind of, sacrifices and all kinds of weird, like, sex and violence and kind of stuff like that.
And I don't know much about, like, I'm not super familiar with Lovecraft. I got a bunch of his works, but I haven't, like,
right, we're like Lovecraft light in terms of our experience.
It's basically just
things,
like
but
Wikipedia
really.
articles, until, I actually get around to reading it. But I would not at all be surprised if the Urasawa guy basically took Lovecraft as like a big inspiration,
like a philosophical inspiration, because a lot of this has the religious kind of overtones here, and they started this whole thing off, and I'm still not going to forget it, but having that thing start off with that bit
about the monster from
Revelation, is kind of something that I think we're not supposed to take literally. Literally, I'm slurring my words. I'm so like out of it from this episode, but they have these little bits like this where you're like, wait. We could take this literally. That's kind of the thing that... It's tempting you to. It's like, ooh, do you want to turn this into a thing where he's a demon? It's like, no. We want you to question this whole thing. Don't zero in on one specific interpretation of Johan.
Right.
It's more important that I think we see the effects of him on the people and draw parallels to those, and then we can get a bit of a bigger picture of what this whole thing with Johan is, because it's not in the person.
Right, but the fact that he is a human is what makes it all the more terrifying.
Exactly.
Because it would be so easy. It would be so easy to just say, oh, he's someone that's possessed or whatever. This is something that's supernatural. We're basically... Because when you do that, you're basically agreeing that we don't understand it, and there's no way we could understand it because it's something that fundamentally is not understandable.
Yes.
But when it's like, oh no, he's like this, and he's an actual person, that's way more unsettling.
You were right, Jacob. This is the kind of one where you don't want to watch this like late at night, because it's not that the actual visuals or the camera angles or the sounds are really the scary bits. It's all that combined with the idea that this gets you to psychologically think about certain things.
Right.
Because here's something I just wanted to bring up. It's something that's kind of scary, but it's kind of also really funny. Go look up online, like, creepy things my 2-year-old has said to me. Like if you want to see something that's just really gets you to question whether or not the nature versus nurture argument is right, look up some of the creepy things. Now, these could be fake.
Yeah, they totally
But just look up some of the creepy things that, like, toddlers and little kids with no knowledge of language or anything will say. Things like, your face looks tasty right now. Like, what the... What?
And I think they have understanding of language, but it's the idea that they're so, like, they haven't fully developed, like, their thought processes and stuff, and they haven't, like, adjusted to, like, social norms or anything like that. So it's very much just whatever comes to mind.
Raw consciousness.
Which makes you think, like, what did Johan say when he was 5 years old?
Well, that's the thing, is that that's something you see and you go look online, you're like, okay, that's pretty common. That's not something that's like, the one instance you'll find. You'll see a lot of instances like that. But
and the people probably grew up to be healthy adults.
Right. Yeah. But the thing is, law of large numbers, we know there are horrible people out there in the world. We know there are people that deviated in their minds somewhere when they're really young, probably, and
that took them very far.
Yes, and turned into monsters. There's horrible stories of that throughout human history. We don't have to look very far. So are there even exceptions amongst those exceptions? It gets you really to think about, like, humanity, we're some pretty freaking terrifying creatures, and a lot of it all exists up in here, and most people don't really bring into reality those kinds of things that are in there, but the ones that do, Johan seems actually a little bit less alien than on first appearance. It's a little bit scary.
If anything, it's not so much what Johan does, but his capabilities to do it effectively,
and his connection to humanity via the aspects of the monster in humanity, but then also just the fact that he is the monster that you walk across the street from. You know, he's the monster that sits next to you on the subway. You don't really get to the fear of like, oh no, humanity is all horrible.
Right.
But it's the idea that he's playing on people's basic fears of just the unknown variable that's like next door.
Right.
You know, it's
in the same way that you can like think of like, oh hey, like, you know, genetic diversity between humans, like we're just as different as like we are from, say, like, you know, people that would be our heroes, right? But the reverse is true, where when you think of like the worst that humanity has to offer, still at a genetic level, the differences are
almost
about
non-existent.
The same. So
so this is what I'm going to be thinking about all day now.
And that's why you don't watch this before you go to sleep. Not because you'll, you know, like leave the lights on and check under your bed. I mean, you might, but
you just won't sleep.
Either you won't sleep, or you will have some interesting dreams.
And I think another aspect of this is that the story really handles its characters quite well.
Yes.
I think we've mentioned this quite a few times, but the capability that the show has to bring forth moments with these characters, like Tenma's little bit where he puts the cigarette in Mahler's mouth.
Yep.
You realize, well, that's a very like human response. It's completely illogical and completely nonsensical.
Yep.
But oh my gosh,
exactly.
Trauma, when you're in the moment of this emotion and stuff, you do things like that.
Right.
And I really liked the way they also brought Anna or Nina. We should just choose a name. What do you want to... Anna. Okay, because it's her real name.
And she might not stick to Nina
That's
after
true,
this, so.
yeah. So for Anna, when she comes to her memories and she goes through the mini stages of trauma and PTSD, like right in front of us, oh my gosh, that's just so good.
Because here's the thing. This whole idea of Johan, it's not really anything new.
No.
Like, it's been done before. But the thing is, you could take this setting, this premise, whatever, right? And it's like, hey, that could be really good. But it could also be really stupid and really cheesy if the characters weren't done really well. Which
execution,
they are.
Man. Execution.
Well, and the idea that when it comes right down to it, characters are the most important aspect of a story.
Well said.
That might not be what draws you to a story.
True.
Right? Usually it'll be the premise, you know, the setting, plot, you know, whatever. But the characters are what make it stand head and shoulders above the rest, or fall flat on its face most of the time.
Right, because it's the individual characters and the combination of all of these characters that actually makes a story unique. Because ultimately, there are no truly unique stories out there, but you will always find unique casts of characters. Like, I could, like, you can find unique casts of characters constantly,
and
all
unique
day.
Combinations of characters.
That's what I mean by casts. It's a group of characters.
And especially for something like this, where, you know, it's not about Johan's ability to like predict things, right?
Yeah.
It's about his effect on the people.
Right.
The predicting things, all kinds of stories do that.
Right, like we could go into the theories about how Johan staged the hit and run so that the other cops would be on the bridge waiting for the detectives to show up, so that right at that moment where Tenma realized that they were in trouble, he would jump out, making him more a fugitive.
This was the one that stood out to me a lot, actually.
What's that?
Okay, when Junkers was running, like both the times that Junkers was running.
Right.
One, he runs from the hospital to this place where Johan is waiting for him, I guess.
Yep.
Or when he's running originally, like when you first see him.
Yeah.
And a car manages to miss, like, what, a red light or a green light or something like that, and it hits him. That's one of those things where it's like, was that Johan?
Wait a minute. Like, or was that someone influenced by Johan?
Right, was that someone influenced by Johan? Yeah, not Johan
like
himself.
The image they try to put in your mind with Johan is that he's basically this dark, disembodied head hanging above the clouds with like massive hands manipulating all these people, and that's not really what he's doing. Like, that's not at all what he is. That's what he'd like you. That's what he'd like you.
Picture.
I know, but that's what he'd like you to think of him, so that you're more and more terrified of him.
Yeah.
But I think that'll be one of the things that will make the show truly terrifying. Is probably towards the very end. They're not going to humanize him. Like, they're not going to humanize Johan.
Because the name of the show is Monster.
Right. But what they're going to do is they're going to make you think they're going to humanize him.
Okay.
And then they'll make you go, wait a minute. Like should we even if it was the right thing to save him, even though this thing's happened, is it still the wrong thing to kill him, even though all these things happen?
Right.
And it's that bit where does the monster truly die, even if it's killed?
Sure.
People die when they are killed, but monsters, no.
This is what I'm more worried about.
Okay.
If this is what they do to unsettle us and have it be like scary Johan
stuff
now.
Escalation, man.
There is going
It's
to
a
be
real thing.
escalation. And what is that going to look like? Like...
I'm not ready.
I'm really happy we decided to watch this show, though.
I am excited to watch this show as well. I got to admit, I'm glad that, like, I'm not the only person that feels the desire to talk louder when a scary scene starts in a show. Because when they were going into the house and the camera started happening, you started talking and your volume, like, elevated, like noticeably a few decibels. I was like, oh, I feel better now. I'm not the only one who's a little bit, like, having heart palpitations, like, just kind of... Because I was having psychosomatic pain in my shoulder.
Yeah, I don't know what was up
heck,
with that.
Guys? Like, it happened,
Johan.
like, 4 or 5 times.
Johan.
No, it didn't work that time. I think it's gone now.
No, it's Johan, not gone.
Anyways, guys, this was a crazy episode.
It was.
If you want to see the next episode's reaction, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. If you want to get our full reaction to this episode, go check out that link as well. We got full-length reactions there. And all of this comes with Discord access, so you can chat with us about Monster, about Johan, philosophy, or what have you. And yeah, we'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all next time.